I'm Dr. George Flynn, and welcome to the podcast, welcome to the lesson, welcome to the course, welcome to the radio show, the TV show. This is about your online business, starting your online business. We're on lesson number 10. We've made it through lessons. We've made it all the way through 9, and we're on 10. This is about scaling your business. You've got it started. You've got to scale it. You've got to make it larger. And you got to make it sustainable. You can't just come into an online business and let it collapse. But scaling is not just about growth. It's about the sustainable growth. In other words, growth that stays, and it ensures longevity and success. You know, you've got a business, and it's gaining traction. And managing increased demand, even though it sounds great, your business is booming, you've got to be able to manage that increased demand. You've got to be able to expand your operations and maintain the customer satisfaction. Now that's a critical challenge, because as you get bigger, you have less time to spend with each customer. So we're going to talk about the intricacies of scaling your online business from this strategic planning and operational efficiency to building a team and innovating and making it more and more efficient every day. You may be just starting, or you may be an established player. But everybody can learn something every day, and there are nuances of scaling and sustaining your business, and they're essential for you to navigate this evolving landscape, because things are changing around you and you want to change with it. Actually, you want to change before it. You want to be the leader. So this scaling is not a one-size-fits-all. Everybody is going to have a different way of scaling. It's going to require a strategic mindset. It's going to align with your growth, your business, your opportunities, your strengths, and your market dynamics. Remember, a few lessons ago we talked about your unique strength. Well, this is where we're going to lean into our strength and away from our weaknesses. So we're going to have to do a little thoughtful planning for the foundation of this successful scaling. Well, are we ready to scale? Before you start on your journey, evaluate your business. Is there real demand for what you're offering? And is it increasing? Do you have the infrastructure to handle more orders? Are your operations efficient and streamlined? You've got to identify any gaps or bottlenecks where things are stopped, where it's one area that's stopping the movement of your product or your service. So once you identify that, then we can attack it and change it for the better. You know, your strategic outline, it tells you what you need to do to grow your business, but remember, you got to maintain quality. You can't just get the cheapest thing, and you've got to also maintain customer satisfaction and interaction with your customers. So what about increased production capacity? Can you increase? Should you expand to new markets? Or should you have more products or stay with the same product? You've got to decide these things, and your strategy is going to be grounded in the market research and your insights that are data-driven. So once you answer those questions for yourself, you're going to be able to know what to do to make your business grow, or maybe you should keep it the same. So how are we going to become more efficient? We got to streamline. You're going to have efficient operations. They're the backbone of scaling. If you're not efficient, you can't scale, because you'll scale inefficiencies too, and it'll become harder and harder, like you're stuck in molasses. So evaluate your processes from the time you get an order to inventory management, to order fulfillment, to customer support and marketing. Just look around and maybe even get a friend to come in and say, where is this inefficient? What could I do better? How could I improve? How could I handle increased demand smoothly? Now here comes one that is a double-edged sword. Technology plays a pivotal role in scaling. You got to implement the systems that automate these repetitive tasks. They can track the key metrics, and they can support your decision making. So if you're doing something over and over and over, let technology do it for you. There are e-commerce platforms, inventory management software, CRM, content relationship marketing or management. CRM can mean so many things to so many people, but there are systems, there are analytics, and there are tools that are example of this. But you've also got to be careful. These tools cost money. Do you really need these tools? There are programs out there. They're all over the internet, how to help you. But really, does it help you? You check it out, make sure it really helps you. Do it on a trial basis. Don't sign up for something for a year or 6 months even. You sign up for something with a free trial. See if it works for you. It may be a great concept, but it may not work for you. So scaling is going to require a solid infrastructure that can, you got to be able to have increased demand, and you do not compromise quality. If you compromise quality, your business is getting ready to fail. This includes, you got to have suppliers. They got to be reliable. They can't order 100,000, whatever it is, and they say, oh, we can get them to you in 6 months. No, you need them now, whatever it is. You've got to have a fulfillment process, somebody to pack and ship or email out data. You got to have somebody to do that. It takes people in supplying a goods, a service, still takes people. And you got to have a website that is able to handle high traffic volumes. Some websites will crash if you get more than 3 orders. You got to make sure your website is not done on the cheap, but it's not done on the expensive. Somewhere in the middle where it's reliable. You got to make sure it's reliable. All the fancy bells and whistles don't mean anything if it's not reliable. I want you to be able to manage your financials. You've got to see where your investment's going to pay off. If you're going to hire people, if you're going to buy more technology, if you're going to buy more infrastructure, have more inventory, you got to carefully manage your financials to ensure that when you scale, when you increase, you're not costing more than you're making. You got to make sure your scaling is sustainable and that your cash flow stays healthy. So consider seeking funding opportunities if you really need to. I would ask you to try to hold off on that as long as you can, but if you have to consider it, consider it. Try not to go into debt. Let's not go broke trying to have a business. Your family, you're more important. Let's don't go broke. As you scale, as you increase, you got to make sure you're maintaining your customers and maintain the fact that they know you, they know you're reliable, they know you're going to deliver. You got to focus on delivering consistent value and exceptional experience, more than the customer accepts and expects. Remember, your customer is expecting something. If you give them a little bit more, a lagniappe, they call it, they're always happy with that. But your growth should enhance. It should enhance the quality of service you provide. If your growth starts detracting from the quality of service you provide, let's rethink it, and maybe don't grow. because your service, the service you provide, is probably the most important thing. It keeps your business going, keeps your business growing. So scaling requires a team that can manage increased responsibilities. If you're going to hire somebody that aligns with your company culture and will bring the skills that you need for your growth phase. Now, if they don't align with your company culture, don't hire them, no matter how many skills they have. Just invest in training and development to nurture your team's capabilities. Do not just hire them and say, take off, do your own thing. You've got to get them on board and doing the same thing that you're doing as a company. So how do you do that? The key thing here is effective delegation. If you hire somebody and your business expands, you know you can't do everything yourself. So you've got to delegate some tasks to your team members. Now you know their strengths, or you will know their strengths. You've got to empower them. I don't like the word, but you've got to trust them to make the decisions within their areas of expertise. It's amazing. If you don't trust them to make decisions and do things, why have them? So as your team grows, you got to maintain a cohesive company culture. And as more and more people come in, this becomes challenging. You've got to clearly communicate your values, the mission of your business, and the expectations to ensure that everyone is aligned. I want you to have open communication and encourage collaboration to preserve a positive work environment. Now you've got to innovate. Continued innovation. It's the essential. It's the one thing you've got to do to scale sustainable. We got to look at the market trend. Make sure you're attuned to what your customer is saying back to you, and you're open to adapting and even changing your strategies. You've got to innovate and lead to new revenue streams and keep your business relevant. That's the key to it. Stay relevant and stay connected with your customers. Watch the metrics. There are things people will call in business KPIs, key performance indicators. And this is a way to track your business's performance. What you want to do is look at the revenue growth. If you can graph it, look at the revenue growth, see if it's going up. How much does it cost for you to acquire a customer? Well, if you say, I don't know, you need to know. You need to look at customer satisfaction and how efficient is your operation. But just remember, one of the prime things we got to talk about, how much does it cost you to get a customer? Then it's your job to keep that customer. So the metrics will help you with your risk management and make sure that you're not going off the deep end. But remember, how much does it cost to get you a customer, and how much does it cost to maintain that customer, keep them happy, keep them doing business with you? I really want you to take these things into consideration. We're going to build a business. We're going to improve the business. We're going to scale it. But how we do this is going to make sure it's sustainable. You've got to make sure that everyone on your team knows where they're going so that it will continue to grow and your vision will continue to be realized. I'm Dr. George Flynn. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time.